Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then hi, my name's Vicky. I'm going to be comparing two of the Fenty bronzers in this video. I'm going to be comparing the Cheeks Out cream bronzer and the Stalk'r powder bronzer. So if you're here because you're wondering which formulation to go for, I hope this is going to help you. Or if you've got similar colouring to me and you're trying to figure out if these are the right colours for you, then also I hope this helps you out as well. So I'm going to be talking about the two different bronzers, things like the packaging, the formulation, the colours, and I'm then going to be applying them onto my face, which is why I look a little bit one-dimensional in this video. So we're going to see how they act on the skin as well. Alright, so the first bronzer then is the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer, and I picked this up in the shade Butta Biscuit. This is 02. So I think this is their lightest bronzer colour. I think the 01 is in fact amber, so that's the contouring shade in the cream formulation. So I think this is the lightest bronzer shade that they do. And in terms of reference, like I say, in case you have similar colouring to myself, I am in the shade 150 in Fenty's foundations, and that is the light shade with neutral undertones. I do lean slightly warm, but neutral is kind of the shade of foundations that I tend to go for. But if you don't know your shade, you can go on Fenty's website, you can get swatched into your foundation shade, and then once you know that, it then tells you further below down the page all your different shades in all the other face products that they do as well. So it'll give you your concealer shade numbers, it will give you your bronzer shades, it will give you your powders and your blushes and highlighters as well, which I think is really useful in terms of figuring out what shades you are in all the different products that they do. So first of all, the packaging then. Let's discuss the packaging of these bronzers. I think this packaging is really lovely. It's mostly all black with white writing. It's then got this rose gold reflective panel in the middle that says Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, and it's then a mottled pink in the corner. Now I'm not overly bothered by the cardboard packaging that products come in. I tend to just get the packaging out and then put this box in the recycling, but I know that some people do like to keep their products in the cardboard packaging that the product comes in. It tends to preserve the product a little bit better, and then depending on what the product packaging looks like, it tends to just look nicer in your collection as well. But I really do like this packaging. I think it looks quite expensive. It's quite simple, the fact that they've just stuck to 3 different colours. I am still going to recycle this packaging though, so as pretty as it is, this is just going to go straight in the recycling. And then when you open it up and you take your product out, this is what the product looks like. So it's again rose gold. It's really reflective, so you might see there my ring light reflected in it. So just bear in mind as well that because it is very reflective, very shiny, fingerprints are going to show up quite easily on this packaging. And on this cream bronzer packaging, it does have the word cream written over the front, so if like me you bought the cream and the powder, it makes it really easy to see which one is which. So if you want your cream one, you just grab the one that says cream on the front. And then on the back it gives you your shade name, so mine is 02 Butta Biscuit. And then it also tells you as well that this should be used up within 12 months, and that's just because it's a cream product. Cream products should be used up quicker than your powder products. And in terms of weight, this is 6.23 grams or 0.22 ounces. So I think this is fairly standard for products like your bronzers. I know with the cream blusher that I have, that is 4 grams, so this is just a little bit more generous than that. And this is another octagonal shaped packaging. Fenty are kind of known for that. They're matchsticks, I think they're called, products with the cream highlighters and blushes and contour shades in the sticks. Those are all octagonal as well, so they can kind of fit together quite nicely in your makeup bag. They're magnetic as well. So this follows that similar shape, that similar design, and this is very characteristic of Fenty. I think you would sort of see this shape and you would go, oh yeah, that's a Fenty product. And then it's got the little lip on one of the sides to open that out. And you have a plastic tab over the mirror. Oh, that was satisfying. And you have your mirror and then your cream product here. So this is quite creamy to swatch, as you would expect from a cream bronzer. The colour is fairly warm though. Now this is meant to suit my foundation shade, which is neutral. So this does look a little bit warm, so if you are cooler than I am, I'm assuming this would still suit you because it is targeted towards those neutral shades of foundation, but it does lean more warmer than anything else. So that is the cream product then. Let's talk about the powder one. Now the packaging of the powder bronzer, the Stalk'r Instant Warmth Bronzer, is bigger than the cream bronzer. I'm not really too sure because it is the same weight. It is still 6.23 grams or 0.22 ounces, but the box is thicker than the box for the cream bronzer. And again, the packaging of the powder bronzer is that reflective, shiny rose gold. And then again on the back, it gives you your shade name. So the one that I picked up is Shady Biz 02, and this is the second lightest shade that they do. 01 is Into Sun, but that is targeted more towards the 100 to sort of 140 shade ranges in the foundation. 150 to 200 or 190, Shady Biz would be your sort of shade. So I did mention that the packaging of the powder bronzer is bigger than the packaging of the cream bronzer, but if I put these two together, you can see that they are the same width, so I'm not really too sure why the packaging is slightly bigger for the powder one, but they are the same size, so they can be stacked quite nicely on your dresser. So unlike the cream bronzer, the powder bronzer doesn't have powder written on the front, but like I say, if you have both of them like I do, it's really easy to see which one is which. If you want your powder one, you just go for the plain one with Fenty Beauty on the front. If you want your cream one, you go for the one that says cream on it. And with this one, when you open it up, you get that plastic insert over the top of the powder. There's not one on the mirror. So yes, this one comes with a mirror as well, so that makes it really handy if you just want to pop these in your bag, you want to take these out and about travelling with you, perhaps on holiday when we're allowed. And unlike the cream bronzer, this powder one is embossed with the FB logo, and that's just because with the cream product it's really difficult to do that. A lot easier to print that on your powder product. And this bronzer looks really warm as well. It is lighter than your cream one, so it doesn't swatch as pigmented as the cream bronzer does. It is slightly lighter in colour than your cream bronzer, so if you are thinking that the cream one looks a little bit too dark for you, perhaps this powder one in Shady Biz might be a better option for you. But then with a cream bronzer and also a powder bronzer, it is really easy to build up your pigment as well. And what I have heard about the cream bronzer is that you can build up that pigment really easily. You can go for a full-on bronze effect if that's what you want, or you can just have a slight warmth to your skin. I'm now going to apply these to my face so we can see how they look. This is the first time that I have applied them. So I got these on Tuesday, it's now Saturday. I got them out to have a quick look and then I put them straight into my beauty drawer, and I've tried to kind of forget about them ever since. So this is going to be a first impressions video. And I'm going to do one bronzer on one half of my face and the other bronzer on the other half. So I think the cream one on my left hand side and then the powder one on my right hand side. So as you can see here, just kind of straight away, the cream one looks darker than the powder one, but they are both very warm. Okay, I've zoomed you in a bit there so you can see a little bit more closely how the products are going to look on the skin. And I'm going to start off with the cream bronzer and I'm going to apply it to this side of my face. And I'm going to use the little mirror that comes with it just to see how easy it is to do my makeup with that mirror. And I'm going to use my Zoeva Cream Cheek brush to apply the cream product. And before I start, just in terms of the makeup that I've got on my face already, I've done my skincare, my normal skincare routine. I then put on primer, foundation, concealer, and then I just powdered my T-zone. I don't often powder my cheeks. I also put a bit of powder under my eyes as well, and then I put a little bit of bone eyeshadow on, some mascara, eyebrows and lips. And where I usually apply bronzer is my cheekbones, a bit on my nose and my chin, and on my forehead, my hairline, and also sometimes a little bit under my jawline and my neck, so quite a few places. But we're just going to build up slowly, so I'm just going to dip my brush a little bit into the product and just dab it on, just lightly. So not hugely pigmented, so that's quite good. So you can build up that coverage to however bronzy you want to look. think in terms of colour, this is quite a good match. And it doesn't seem to be disrupting the makeup that's under the bronzer. But if you just lightly kind of tap your product on, that is going to help. If you start to kind of do big circles and lots of pressure, that is just going to disturb the makeup underneath. I quite like that. Okay, let's go for a little bit under my jawline. And then just a little bit on my nose and my chin. I do want to put some powder bronzer on my nose and chin as well though. So just a little bit. I think that has blended in so nicely. And I like as well that it's not hugely pigmented, so you can really build up the pigment and be as bronzed as you want to be. Let's now try the powder bronzer. So this is in the shade Shady Biz. I'm going to use a different brush. This is a Lily Lolo blusher brush. You do have quite a bit of fallout with this. I'm just going to do the same technique. I'm just going to apply it to cheekbones, to my hairline, to my nose, jaw and chin. And then I'll give you guys a close up and see what you think. So we've got cream bronzer on this side of my face, powder bronzer this side. So just zoom you in a little bit more so you can see a bit more closely how the cream bronzer is looking. And then the powder bronzer this side. Okay, so my thoughts on these two bronzers then. I think that they are both really lovely to blend. I think the cream bronzer is just slightly easier to blend. Not that the powder one is difficult at all, but it just really kind of melts into the skin. Colour wise, I think it's probably easier to compare it on my hairline. I think both colours are fairly similar. So do you need both the powder and the cream bronzer? Probably not. But I really wanted to try the cream bronzer, which is why I bought it, and then I just love the ease of a powder one. I don't have to think about kind of setting it over the top with powder. I can just whack on a bit of powder bronzer and I'm out the door. I think they are both quite good shade matches for me though. So if you are around about my colouring, if you are around about the 150 shade in the Fenty foundation, then Shady Biz and Butta Biscuit are quite good shades for you. With the Butta Biscuit, I think if you tan a lot easier, so if you go quite tanned in the summer, then maybe I think Macchiato, the shade above, is probably a good option to go for as well. I don't really tan much. I tend to sort of stay this shade all year round, so I think Butta Biscuit is going to be a year-round shade for me, as is Shady Biz. I am actually just going to put a little bit of the powder one on top of the cream one to see how layering these two products looks, and to see if that really kind of helps to build up intensity. So I'm just layering Shady Biz over Butta Biscuit. So yeah, you do get a more dramatic bronzed effect compared to this side that just has the powder on its own. Okay, to sum up then, so the cardboard packaging I think is really expensive looking, it looks quite classy, and I think it's quite nice packaging to keep your products in as well if you do like to do that. The packaging of the actual products themselves I think is really lovely as well. I think rose gold gives that kind of expensive look to products. And then the cream writing on the cream bronzer just makes it really easy to distinguish which one is which. Formulations I think are great. They're both really easy to blend on the skin. The cream one melts into the skin really lovely. The powder one has a fair amount of fallout, but it's a powder. You're going to expect that with powders. But it doesn't look really powdery or chalky on the face. Again, that one blends in quite nicely. Shades I think are really good. They are quite warm, but a bronzer is going to be warm. But I don't think they look orange or muddy at all on my skin. I'm not sure how this is going to come across on camera, but hopefully it doesn't on camera either. Do you need both the cream and the powder version? No, I don't think you do. And especially in these two shades as well, they are fairly similar to each other, so I probably could have gotten away with just one or the other. But like I say, I wanted to try both. I wanted to try a cream bronzer, and I really like having a powder bronzer in my collection as well. Are they worth the price? I think they probably are. Fenty products are absolutely brilliant. I really love Fenty as a brand, so I think you do get what you pay for in this instance. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope it's helped you to figure out whether you prefer the cream version over the powder version, or whether it's helped you figure out whether these shades are the right sort of shades for you and your skin tone. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys.